Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
This year, boys, I kicked off my side hustle as an MC at Cherry Nightclub. I'm not going to lie, that is kind of what I sound like on stage.
How often does that specific song get a rinse at Cherry? Is it every shift you do it will come up?
Not often, to be honest.
Right.
And I think I'm never in the R&B room, to be honest, because that's not my forte. I'm a bangers only gal.
I thought they'd literally
have
a
contract.
I thought they'd have a KPI for a song like that. You know, it has to fulfill a certain amount of spots, you know, every week.
Why do we need Fat Man Scoop when I'm giving it heaps? You know what I mean? We don't need him to come on in.
What you're paid for.
Well, you know, actually over the weekend, both content director Sophie and Tom came and saw me at Cherry, which was a bit of fun, hey?
Yeah, it was good fun. You were kind enough to give me the mic for a certain part of the Angels. Are we ever going to see your face again? Am I ever going to see your face again?
And you did really well. You really nailed the brief.
Gave it heaps.
Absolutely, it did. Well, on Friday, it was ladies' night at the club, and what they were doing, they were showcasing all the female talent that we've got at the club. So lots of female DJs, a couple of female MCs. Damn straight, and that's a bit of the gear that we were whipping out. But me and this other MC that works there, I'd never seen her do her thing before. I actually think she's only just started, right?
Yeah.
And I got there right at the end of her sort of set. And let me tell you, when I say I was intimidated, it was next level intimidation. This chick was up on the speaker. She was twerking.
Right.
It was like she was teaching a Zumba class. It was so damn good. I was hyped. The crowd was hyped. And I thought, I'm about to get on stage. What the hell am I bringing?
Must be a weird feeling to watch in, you know, awe, but also a little bit of jealousy and be like, okay, this is going to be hard to top, but I am really enjoying it, you know?
Yeah, literally.
What did you do? Ask the DJ to play the Macarena or something?
No.
Pull out the big guns. Catch up song.
The village people now.
I resorted to, well, two things. First things first is that I got up on the speaker. I thought, you know what, like, I'm going to get up there and, you know, really hype the crowd.
Yeah.
Did that, realised that I then have to get off the speaker, and I looked like Winnie the Pooh trying to get off that speaker.
You're like, next resort, flying fox. I'm going to suspend one cable from one end of the room.
Dive. It's my only way down.
I have to keep my jobs, guys. But yeah, then what I decided to do was I got the crowd involved. I was like, right, there's only one thing I can bring to the table right now, and that is a crowd shoey.
Oh, you did
okay.
So I said, who wants a free drink here? Hands went up, obviously, and then I chose one bloke out of the crowd, and he gets up on the speaker. I've got him right up there, crowd front row centre, waited for the drop of the song, and he's done his shoey. And everyone goes mental, right?
Yeah.
How'd you pick him out? How'd you pick him out specifically to be the shoey guy?
Backwards cap.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
I was drunk off this power. Let me tell you, I loved it. So I got another shoey happening.
Well, you got two shoes.
Yeah, well, exactly right. So I've done this. Next minute, I get a ping on my phone. It is the big boss.
Oh, no.
He said, no one is allowed to do shoeys off the speaker. Immediately cease fire. You know,
Stand down.
I was in trouble. Then I had someone else dob me in, and basically I got a speaking to as I left the venue.
Yeah. Your boss is just like, Macarena would have been so much better.
As a 32-year-old woman, getting told off for encouraging shoeys is not something I thought would have happened.
It's not ideal, is it? You know, the shoey is controversial, but it's a funny thing, yes, like you said, to happen as an adult, Davo.
Look, we want to open up the text line here. When did you get told off as an adult?
And I think it's such a common thing, I guess, you know, as an adult and in the workplace, you know, taking naps, things like that, you know. You know, if you're caught watching something on your phone or whatever, there's little things more often than not around the workplace. Not that we're big culprits on naps here, but there are some quite nice podcast chairs that go pretty well if you've had a big night.
I got told off by one of our mates' dads a couple of years ago. I would have been about 19, maybe 20 years old, and we were out the back having a bit of a bonfire, you know, a few beers on a Saturday afternoon. And we couldn't get this fire going well enough, so someone came out with some of the
Like
gasoline,
kerosene?
Kerosene, and then I got my hands on it, and I just sort of went hell for leather, and then I lit a bit of the lawn on fire. We're trying to put it out, and then the dad came out and gave me a spraying.
Yeah, I mean, well deserved.
It was. Plenty of text coming through on the text line at the moment. Somebody's texted in here. My misso tells me off for cutting the crust off my sandwich. Let me live.
That's it. Let them live.
I mean,
Nah,
you're
eat
an
the
adult
crust.
though. Eat
Yeah.
your crusts; they're
Come
good
on.
for you.
This one here. I'm 29 and I got in trouble last Christmas for teaching my nieces and nephews swear words in Greek.
Yeah, I mean, I remember I got in trouble with my cousin when I was about 10 doing that for our 5-year-old cousin.
What's wrong with you?
It's
Five.
fun. Yeah, but like, I mean, as a 29-year-old, what are you doing?
And then you made them do a shoey.
Someone texted in and said, the judge told me off for wearing a Simpsons tie to court. Little swipe just said it was immature.
Yeah, there's only so much you can do, I guess. I mean, it's not illegal, but, it's a bit out there.
My friend is a lawyer and she said recently someone got done for speeding and rocked up in a Velo 500
Really?
They were like, could you not have worn something more appropriate?
Yeah, I like to go fast.
They've got the need for speed.
So yeah, I'm 36 and I rocked up 15 minutes late to my grandma's birthday where my mum gave me an almighty spray in front of everyone. I felt like I was 11 again. Yeah, that'll do it. Getting sprayed by your mum.
This one's insane. Somebody has texted in. Got told off by my son's teacher for cussing. I dropped my keys and said shit in front of my son and his teacher. And he told me to pick more appropriate language, speaking in front of my 15-year-old son, who I know has heard a lot worse.
Jeez, it's such a common one, the language, swearing in front of the kids is so big.
Yeah, but when it's your own kid, can you really?
Whatever.
I really like this text in we got here. It says, I didn't realise you boys were adults yet. Just jokes, boys. Love the show. Paul from WA.
Hey,
Thank
shout
you,
out,
Paul.
Paul. Thanks, mate. Yeah, 23 and feel like I'm 13.
We'll send you our IDs. You can have clarification.
All right. I get older. The Davo, Tom, and Callum podcast stays the same age.
It's that time of the year again, boys, where we start to reflect and look back on the year that was and, maybe start thinking about some of the choices we've made.
Terrible ones, mostly.
Well, this list is a bit of that. Pornhub has just released its biggest searches for the last 12 months.
Right.
And there's a specific category that has gone absolutely bunter, and we'll get to that just shortly.
Yeah, I guess I see what you mean. Of course, when you have some clarity and you look at, what you're sussing, you're like, Jesus, you kind of regret a few of the categories, don't you? They can get a bit weird.
Oh, is that right, Callum?
So, yeah. For some people.
Keep talking. Tell us
I
more.
won't further incriminate myself.
Full of regret.
Yeah.
Well, let's have a look at the top 5 searches that have been hanging around Pornhub for the last year. So, number 5, sexual healing. And that is sort of things like massage therapy sessions, and foot therapy has gone up 219%.
Wow, so is foot therapy just foot fetish, or...?
What do you think foot therapy would be?
I don't know. I'd have to say it's along those lines.
Break it down in your head and let's keep moving.
Number 4, uniforms. So people loving a bit of cosplay on there.
Yeah.
Apparently, main ones that have been searched are military and cop uniforms,
Wow.
There you go.
as well as female soldier and gay soldier.
Right.
Love someone in
There you go.
uniform.
That's gone up by 332% from 2022.
That's a huge percentage to go up as well. Like, what happened? What happened that makes a category like that boost so much that people love a bit of authority?
There's been a bit going on. Number 3, sex machines. Oh, look out. Here we go. So, searches for Android cosplay. Weird. 3D robot.
Geez, so AI is... Well, it's infiltrating the chat GPT. People are doing their uni assignments and stuff with chat GPT. Now the robots are taking over,
Fantasy
these websites.
world.
Yeah,
Do you
crazy.
know what this means? It says the new term NPC, non-playable character.
Yeah, that's
yeah.
like someone that's just AI controlled.
Okay, right, yeah. So that's a part of it too. Number 2, we've got supersize. Yeah, right. Well, this one here's basically a lot of different things going on with this one. So you've got your larger than average penises,
Oh, yeah.
breasts and booties.
Yeah.
We want big booty bitches.
Yeah. Apparently they're wanted. And that's gone up by 177%.
Wow.
Now, you must
Okay.
be itching, wanting to know what the number one search has been for 2023.
I would like to guess, but I'm scared I'll be way off, and we'll have to drop this segment immediately.
Well, I think we'd be way off and it would say a lot about you, Tom. You know what I mean? Number one search for 2023 on Pornhub is mature. Terms like MILF, DILF, and GILF have been gaining momentum,
There you
going
go.
up 423%.
423, that's huge.
There you go. Watch
Hey.
out, Cougars.
Yeah, Cougars all unite. Head out tonight. You're obviously in a good position.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
Making a first impression is so handy when you start seeing someone, especially if it's a group of friends of the person you're seeing. You want to make a good impression straight off the bat.
I mean, first impressions last.
Oh,
don't
they
they?
do, don't they? Because people just have general conversations, years down the track, and they're like, "Oh, when was the first time you met Callum?"
You could get like an unfortunate nickname from these events
Yeah.
that occur.
Definitely.
Then you're stuck with it for life.
Oh, first impressions, and you are stuck with it for a good amount of time, whatever that may be, until you can rectify it.
Yeah.
So, you have to be pretty good off the bat.
So, I mean, you have obviously just started seeing someone, Callum. So,
Yeah.
have you had a bit of an incident where you've had to
So-
make a good first impression?
so-
And my goodness, I hope it didn't happen over a weekend.
So it happened on Sunday.
Oh, God.
Unfortunately.
The worst day for you.
Unfortunately. Why did it have to happen on God's day?
Why not on a Friday?
Yeah, literally. Why not a work day?
Yeah.
Why the weekend? But of course, I was invited to, and I thought it was very funny. She invited me to her friend's son's first birthday. And keep in mind, and I thought it was quite funny as well when I got the invite, because it also seemed very wholesome that it was at Belair National Park.
This is not up your alley at all.
Nah, no
Also,
way.
sucked in, you've got to start going to first birthdays.
Well, how weird. How weird, doing these mature events, going to first birthdays. But yeah, it was at one of the more wholesome places at Belair National Park. You have the animals there and the trees and just general parklands that families can go gather, have barbecues and everything.
So,
Yeah.
of course, because you had this event on a Sunday, Saturday night, you went to bed early, looked after yourself, washed your face, went to bed about 9, yeah?
Obviously, you're poaching for the answer that you want, and I had a big night.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so
And
did
what-
she.
Yeah.
Was
so-
this a morning event as well on the Sunday?
It was pretty early. It was too early. It was 12.
Yeah,
Which is
yeah,
early
okay.
enough on a Sunday.
Yeah, to get to Bel Air.
Yeah. So it was, we were a little bit rusty, and going in, I thought, geez, I've got to be on my A game. I do feel a little bit rusty from the night before. I will try and make my best impression with this new group of, these friends.
Okay,
Yeah.
great.
I'm at the bottom of the Blair National Park, and the bloke who's the dad of the baby, he's unpacking stuff out of the car. And I think, oh, great opportunity. I'll help, take some stuff out. So
Yeah.
I go up and I'm like, hey, man, do you need a hand with anything? And he's like, yeah, it'd be great. Could you just take this deck chair and a few other things over to, the families over there, right?
Yeah.
I turn around. I have a look at the different options. I'm like, I could go left or right.
Oh, you
And I'm
don't
like-
know the
and I'm-
family.
Yeah, so and I'm like, he's pointed in this general vicinity where I'm like, okay, it's that one. He's pointed over there. So I start walking over to this big group of people. I'd say a group of 20 adults, a few kids running around, bringing this deck chair over, a backpack, and the kid's present. And I slap down the deck chair in front of these people. And I think, I've got to be confident straight off the bat. Got to make a good impression. So I start going around this whole group, shaking hands. And I'm like, hey, mate, how you going? Good? It's a nice spot here, isn't it? Great national park. I'm setting this deck chair up, putting everything down.
Stench of bourbon in the air.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to get some other stuff from the car. I'll be back in a sec. I walk off, go back to the car, grab some more stuff out. And I look around, I turn around and look for the girl that I'm seeing to find that she is at the complete opposite group. She is about 100 metres to the right. I've gone over to a completely wrong family. They have no idea who I am. And like you said, Davo, yeah, there was a stench from the night before, just in the aura and the actual smell.
Yeah.
And, one crazy night that it was, and I had to go back to that.
The wrong family.
Yeah. So I went back to the wrong family. And you know when you exaggerate people laughing at you and it really feels like it's everyone pointing and laughing? That's what it felt like.
That's probably what it was.
So wait, so you've obviously realised you've seen your girlfriend over at the other group of people.
And I thought, oh, crap.
You've now had a bunch of stuff you've dropped down here. What have you done to that? Have you just casually been like, oh, I'm at the wrong group? Or what did you do?
So I went back. I quickly ran over to my girlfriend Beck, put everything down, ran back over to the other group, and I just walked up. They were laughing, and I just said, "Sorry, guys, I'm new on the scene. Thought you were, I thought you were the family." And it turned out all right. They wanted to get a family picture to remember it, so I made a good first impression with them. I think they thought it was quite funny, but the other family. It was a bit of a dicey move.
Yeah. One of their kids already had their hands on the present.
Yeah. Sorry, I can't get the present back off Tyler.
One
he really
of the dads
wants it.
has already set up shop on the deck chair, beer in hand.
Well, I thought if it ever goes wrong with the actual family we're meant to be at, I could just slip over to the other one.
Well, look, we want to open up the phone lines here. Did you mess up the first impression, Adelaide? Did you have a bad first impression? We've got Cara from Glenelg North on the line. Cara, good morning. How are you?
Oh, I'm well. I'm awake. I'm upright. That's good.
Excellent to hear, Cara.
Now, what was the first impression? Did it go poorly?
Oh, well, I was after this guy years ago for at least 6 months.
Yeah, wow.
And we met up after he'd been at a friend's barbecue, and I said, "Hey, don't worry, you've been drinking, I'll drive, not a problem."
Jeez.
And as I was coming out of where we were parked, I hit a pylon and ripped off my rear bumper bar.
Wow.
Oh, no.
That's
Absolutely
gotta be-
not.
Yeah, that's fairly
And I
embarrassing.
can tell you what, he did not stop laughing as I was putting the mangled bit of my car in the boot. It was hilarious.
You know what, Cara? Is it that much of a turn-off, really? I mean, sure, he had a bit of a laugh with it. It's a good story.
Life-threatening situations are aphrodisiacs, I hear.
Oh, yeah, it was.
Cara, was there a second date? Did you get the call back up, or...?
I did get a second date and several other dates, and it was quite nice.
Oh,
It
of
was lovely.
course,
It's
of course
But I
you
was
did.
never allowed to drive.
Fairy tale ending there.
Fair enough. Hey, Cara, we've got a $50 voucher to Barbecue Boys coming your way.
Thank you so much. I love Barbecue Boys.
Oh, how good.
Fantastic. Well, enjoy that. It's a pretty bad first impression.
Sometimes me think, what is friend? Then me say, friend is someone to listen to Davo, Tom and Callum podcast. Cookie, nom 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 nom.
Creepy crawlies are probably one of the worst things to have in your house, and there's all different ways to get rid of them. I guess the classic is, spider. You can slap it with your shoe, slap it with a
Slap
thong
it on that ass.
Yeah, give it a little slap, and otherwise you got your fly spray and other things to get rid
Swatter,
of it. Yeah. There's so many
Newspaper.
so many options, right? heaps and heaps.
Keep listing them.
But this guy I'm not the one listing them, but this guy over in Japan, he's gone for a pretty different remedy, and it's quite crazy, but it's had pretty bad repercussions. He's blown up his apartment trying to kill a cockroach. So,
A cockroach, just one?
One single cockroach. Over in Japan near Hiroshima, this bloke, about in his 50s, has seen one single cockroach, and he's thought, geez, I won't get the spray out, or, I won't try anything else on this thing. He's used insecticide and sprayed the house so much that it caught up in flames.
Okay, right. So he's sprayed the hell out of it, and he's lit a candle in one room,
Yeah,
and then boom, bada bing,
So
bada
he didn't
boom.
get,
Exactly
it was
right.
no C4. It was just he
Yeah.
filled that house up and then went to make pasta or something.
Yeah, some kitchen utensil, which blows my mind because for it to be that flammable in there with the insecticide, it's like, surely it gets to a point where you can't breathe and
I
you
was
can't
going to
function
say,
in there.
I get annoyed when someone gets the fly spray out and just does a couple little squirts.
Yeah,
I'm like, that
yeah.
stunk out the
Oh, it
house.
stinks. So what is this guy? Has
How
he
many
got a-
cans has he gotten through?
He's got a hazmat suit on while he's making pasta in the kitchen. Doesn't really realise. Sorry, it was a Halloween costume party. Belated. I had the Breaking Bad suit on.
Have you ever experienced a cockroach one-on-one, though? Because
A tussle?
they staunch you.
Yeah,
They get up on their hind legs. They put their arms out. They come at you.
Little baseball bat.
I'm not
tapping
even
it,
joking.
Tapping it into that one hand.
I mean, cockroaches too, famously known for being able to survive a nuclear war.
So
I
think
mean, what did the cockroach walk away without a scratch?
No doubt. Walked
Scot-free.
away from the explosion.
You're listening to Davo, Tom and Callum, the podcast.
I'm bloody ticked off.
Simon Mongrel.
Oh, jeez, it's ticked off, Tom. Yeah, I'm bloody ticked off again, guys.
Oh, God.
It's happening on a weekly basis now.
Well, I mean, who would have knew that there were so many things that would just constantly pop up day by day?
I mean, I would.
Yeah, we knew you'd be being ticked off every week. It just wasn't a segment yet.
I'm glad you've given me the airtime.
It's also good for you to get this stuff off your chest, mate. You know,
That's
it's
it.
nice.
It's not all bottling up, raging inside me anymore. But no, I want to talk about this article that I read earlier this morning, and it's the way that people over in Britain are doing their dishes, and it's really riled me up.
Oh, so you've gone, TikTok Tom's gone international now.
Yeah.
We're looking at the annoying grievances from around the world.
That's it.
It's seeking it out.
Well, I started reading this article because the title was a bit clickbaity, but the more I've read into it, the more I was like, this is just disgusting. This is foul. The way the English wash their dishes. And I'm not saying this is all of them, but apparently there's a fair few chunk of them that do this after this debate went worldwide onto Reddit.
I mean, interesting, because their dishes are usually in the same place as their laundry.
Yeah, right.
Dishwashers are in laundries and vice versa.
Yeah, okay,
Wow,
weird.
okay.
Well, the way that this is...
No, that's interesting. Yeah. We like to think, the English are, like one of us, like, the same, but, they're quite weird, aren't they?
Yeah. But what they're doing, right, is when they're washing the dishes in the sink, when they are taking the plates and the cups out of that hot soapy water, they're putting it onto the drying rack without rinsing any of these suds off, without drying them at all. They're straight on suds staying there all over these dishes. And they can stay there for up to days at a time, some people have reported.
I mean, but doesn't that leave dirty marks on your dishes?
Exactly right. There might be this idea in people's head that the longer the soap sits there, the cleaner it'll get, but that's just not true. The way that the soap works is that it's holding this dirt in suspension, so it's just staying on the plate. You're not actually getting a clean plate.
Yeah, and then you have to wash off the suds to carry away the dirt because it pretty much sticks to it.
Yeah. So
Genius.
Yeah, well, that's it.
yeah, this one woman said she experienced this as a kid when they went to England and saw it, and then in her 20s wanted to do more research on it. And yeah, they've gone to Reddit, and plenty of people saying, yeah, this is a common practice in England. Apparently, it's a bit of an older person thing over there at the moment now. They're changing their game. They are rinsing some of the younger people, but that's off one account. Who really knows?
I mean, I'm more than happy to rinse the dish, but also think about all those sinks that have the double sink. The point of having the second sink is to rinse the dish.
Yeah, exactly.
But it is just like a weird half-assing the process, isn't it?
Yeah.
It doesn't take that much longer to wash it off and guarantee that the dishes are going to be properly clean.
Yeah, I mean, let's open up the text line here, get a bit of a conversation going. Is this disgusting, Adelaide? I want to know, is this a disgusting habit?
You might have some English freak neighbours or something that you've been over for a dinner party and seen it for yourself.
Hey.
God forbid, I'd hope you've never been a part of that situation.
If you are English and you do this, let us know. We were talking about our own dishwashing habits off air, and Callum was saying that he doesn't mind doing the dishes.
And we both rolled our eyes at that because we thought, well, that must be once every 6 months when he pops into the kitchen.
Well,
and his mum.
where do you draw the line? You said you like
Yeah,
drying.
so
What don't you do?
I said I like the drying, and I actually don't mind, the washing with the squeegee thing or whatever, but as soon as the food goes into the sinkhole and, like, it's wet food in the sinkhole, like, screw that, I'm not touching it.
So you leave it there for someone else.
There's two jobs around the house, like, I'm happy to do whatever chore, but there's two jobs. No, I'm content. I'm content with whatever chore. But what I won't touch, what I refuse to touch is the kitty litter and the sinkhole.
I don't believe...
They're out of bounds.
I actually
Just don't ask me to do
believe
it.
that at all.
You're the type of person that you go walk the dog and get someone else to pick up after it.
No, I'm not. I don't have a dog, so it wouldn't happen. And all of you on your high horses as well. Bullshit, you do the dishes as well.
Every night, mate.
No, you don't.
Every bloody night after
I highly
dinner.
doubt it.
Plenty of people texting through, though. We are talking about the dishes. We're saying, is this weird? Is this a disgusting way to do the dishes on 0428 927 927? We were hoping if there's anyone English listening, they can call up and defend this idea of doing the dishes. But somebody's texted in saying, myself and my old man have the same argument every night we do the dishes. He doesn't rinse and the bubbles get stuck in the little lip of the microwave containers. Drives me nuts. Yeah, fair enough. I can't stand that. But what's even more annoying is when you can't get the tea towel in there, so you're just like trying to get rid of the suds. Yeah,
Yeah, like with your nail.
I've spent many a minutes at those microwave containers.
This
So
one here.
specific. This is so up your alley, man. Like, I'm trying to
You've
get on
got animal
board.
gear. I've got dishwashing.
I'm trying to get on board, but I'm like, these are details that surely.
This one is interesting. My parents from the older generation never used to rinse dishes only because they were on rainwater in the country. And with 3 kids, water was scarce. I rinse all the time now. As I no, Davo, it's an interesting segment. Let them have their chance on the text line. One of the fresh fam. It is very, very interesting and not mundane. I rinse all the time now, as I hate the taste of dishwashing detergent
Amen.
when you have a glass of water.
Yeah,
very, very
absolutely.
good observation.
Oh,
We've
and
all been there.
We got another text in here from Chad. I think he's on the same wavelength as me with this one. It says, "You guys have just blown my mind.
good,
I've been
good.
doing it wrong my whole life."
Thank
Yeah,
you, Chad.
there you go. That's a legitimate text. You're trying to take away from poor Chad there. We've had Kev as well text in saying, "Yeah, look, who cares? A bit of soap's not going to kill you. Sometimes you're in a rush."
Kev's from Manchester.
English Kev on the text line.
First you get the sugar, then you get the power, then you get the Davo, Tom and Callum podcast.
Ho, ho, ho! Merry Christmas!
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas.
Who is the ultimate Christmas lover? Only time will tell. Sleighbell Smackdown on Fresh 92.7.
It's time to wrap up our Sleighbell Smackdown to see who loves Christmas more out of Callum and myself, or Taylor and Kale.
Yes, it was quite a feisty competition that we had last week.
Well, it's so funny. It is really funny, you know, if you've been keeping up with the competition, that it did get a little bit, you know, it got a little bit hasty, it got a little bit sour, and, you know, so it's so funny to hear this very cheerful Christmas intro, and we're all here in the studio, you know, looking at each other being like, thank God this is over.
But of course, this was the final round, so we did the photos on Instagram.
Yeah.
You
We
guys
had the-
came on top there.
Finish the lyrics.
Finish the lyrics.
Yeah,
Kale
Christmas song
and
lyrics.
Taylor were the winners of that. So we were in a draw, a standstill here.
Yeah.
And the final task is a Christmas quiz.
Yep, so simply it was Tom and I versus Cow and Taylor for a Christmas quiz, just generic Christmas questions to see who would be the winner of the competition.
Well, let's wrap it up. Here is the Christmas quiz for Sleighbell Smackdown. Stay tuned to find out who loves Christmas more.
Question number 1. Name all of 9 of Santa's reindeers.
Sleigh. Alright, you got Rudolph, you got Vixen, you got Comet, you got
Prancer,
you got...
Blitzen.
Yeah, that's 5. How many are there? 9.
I'm glad they buzzed in.
I actually googled this before we came on air and I've completely forgotten because I thought this might be.
Who is Rudolph's girlfriend again?
I don't know. We're gonna bow out with 5.
All right, Christmas tree. You guys can give it a go. Come on.
What have they said?
Start from the start.
There's Blitzen, Vixen, Rudolph,
You're just copying us.
Dancer, Prancer,
That's 5.
that is it? Dancer,
there a
Prancer,
Dixon?
Rudolph, Vixen,
Yeah, but is there a
All right,
Dasher,
guys.
there's
Dasher.
Dasher,
Nah,
Prancer.
come on. We'll go next question. Come on.
We're bowing out.
What Hollywood actor played 6 different roles in the Christmas movie The Polar Express?
Oh, it's Sleigh. Tom Hanks.
Was that 6?
Slay!
All right, 1 to you guys. Question number 3. How do you say Merry Christmas in Spanish?
Sleigh. Have a stab, right? Hola Christmaso.
Do you guys, it's a pretty famous saying.
Como te Christmas?
Feliz Navidad.
Oh, we are even.
Navidad. Feliz Navidad. I don't know, there's a song about it and it just came into my head.
That's the one. All right, guys. Question.
I think ours is just a different dialect in Spain. You know, it really depends on the region. It's really a Granada to Barcelona kind of difference.
All right, question number 4. What year did Mariah Carey's All I Want for Christmas Is You come out? Slay.
Early 2000s. Late 90s. Yeah. I was going to say like...
2006.
No, I reckon early 2000s, like 02, 01.
Alright, 3.
I'm going to go 01. What do you think?
01.
No good. Should we do it still?
Yeah, what are you going to say?
Do you want to?
Yeah.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
We're going to go with 2002. Oh.
Is it 2004?
It's 1994, guys.
Wow.
Behind that. That's embarrassing, actually.
All right. Now, jeez, where are we at with scoring? Is anyone scoring
I
here?
have a point.
1-all,
I think
isn't
it's
it?
1-all.
All right.
Jeez.
Okay, this one should be a bit of fun. So, according to finder.com.au, how much money do you think Australians will spend this Christmas? Closest to the figure wins.
Christmas tree, $4.6 billion.
Okay, what's your guess?
Do you reckon we go lower or higher? Let's go 4.5.
4.5 billion. What was it?
30 billion. Team Christmas Tree is the winner of Christmas Sleighbell Smackdown.
It's like one of them Christmas horror movies. You know?
Oh, that's offensive.
So it turns out that Cale and Taylor love Christmas the most. How do you feel about winning that crown?
As if that was even a question, but I feel magnificent.
Remember a couple of years ago when Taylor and myself both legit put up our Christmas trees together via Zoom during COVID days? Remember that? 2 or 3 years ago.
Do you have a rebuttal, boys?
How cute. What have you guys done this year?
I'm just glad we're the adults here in the room.
Oh, there you are. Now they are.
Take your shirt off again, Santa.
Truth comes out.
It's about how you handle such a situation.
And we will never do this again.
Thank God.
Hi, Jeremy Cordeaux in the Court of Public Opinion. I'm just on air here to let you know that we'll be live streaming the Court of Public Opinion every Friday between 9 o'clock and 12 on jeremycordeaux.com. Please join us. We'd love to have you.